Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about how I set up a Montessori kitchen in our home for my daughter. The whole concept of Montessori revolves around respecting the child, helping promote independence, and helping all of this in a prepared environment. And so it's our job as parents to prepare the environment for our toddlers, for our babies, as they go through different stages in their growth. Today I'm going to share when, where, how I started to put together the toddler kitchen setup in our home and sort of the timeline of how it all happened. After I talk a little bit about it, I'm going to head over to the kitchen and I'll give you a tour of what her kitchen setup looks like right now at 20 months. Before my daughter started walking, I simply used a low drawer in the kitchen so she could open the drawer and just look inside and reach in the drawer and get familiar with some of the items that she uses on a daily basis. I'm going to do a separate video on how I approached eating at the table with my daughter from a very early age when she was a baby, how she learned to spoon feed herself, use a fork, utensils, a glass, cutlery, that sort of thing. But today I'm just going to focus on the actual kitchen setup in the house. At 11 months, I just started by using a low drawer. And I placed a few of her items in there so she could see me going into the kitchen, taking the items out of the drawer and placing it on her table and setting her table and getting ready for her meal or for her snack. She started walking around 13, 14 months. So after her getting familiar with the low drawer, I then came across the Ikea Kitchen, the Ikea Toddler Kitchen, which I'll link below which one I got, but I actually found it secondhand and it was just the base part. So it actually comes as a full kitchen unit, but I just really needed the base and I found it for $15, which was a great find. And I set that up just before she started walking so she could visually get familiar with what her kitchen would look like and the functionality of it. So babies are always observing everything that we're doing right from the beginning. They're watching, they're listening, and it's really important when you're preparing for a certain stage in your child or your toddler's development is not just to wait for them to hit that point of, let's say, being able to stand or walk or balance. You know, you want to start it a little bit earlier just so they visually see the environment and they know that it's there. So just before she started to walk, I set up her kitchen, and now at 20 months she has been fully confident and very happy and excited to use her functional toddler kitchen. I'll go through about 6 things that you want to consider having in your kitchen when you are setting up a Montessori toddler kitchen. The first thing is make sure that her toddler kitchen was actually in our kitchen. So there's some parents that put the play toddler kitchen in a bedroom or in a family room or in a playroom or the basement, and if that works for them, that's great. But the whole idea of the Montessori toddler kitchen is for it to actually be a functional space for real life food preparation, washing, putting dishes away, that sort of thing. So you want to place it in the proper environment, and we as adults do those things in our kitchen. So find a space in your kitchen that works. Either you can use the Ikea kitchen that I purchased. You can also make your own. It doesn't take a lot. You can just cut a hole in a small dresser or a small table and place a bowl in it as a sink, and then just have like a little cupboard underneath. There's so many creative ways that you can create this little space or this nook for your child. You want to make sure that they have child-sized glasses, child-sized plates, a bowl, a spoon, fork, knives, placemats. When we get into my kitchen, I'll show you what it looks like and I'll go through everything in detail. But having just the essentials in that space will help to promote the child to reach for these items themselves and to use them independently. Second thing you want to have in your kitchen is either a stepping stool, a step ladder. What's really popular now is the learning tower. We didn't use that. I just simply used a basic stool, and again, I got it at Ikea. I'll put all the links below of everything that I have in my kitchen, so if you want to purchase or if you want to see what it is exactly, the details will be in the description box. But just something for them to step up at the adult size counter if they want to help at our level, so at our counter level. So I'll have a stool, so always have a stool in your kitchen as well. The third thing is having child size cleaning materials. So for Christmas, my daughter got the Melissa and Doug broom set, and again, I'll link it below, and it's been fantastic, a really big hit for her to use. She really enjoys sweeping the floor, mopping the floor with me, and doing the dusting, doing all of that together. So you want to have cleaning supplies, a little sponge, a little scrubber, a small container to place everything in, and a child-size apron. The fourth thing you want to have child-size kitchen implements, so like a juicer, like a small child-size juicer, an apple cutter, a strawberry cutter. That was something that my daughter really liked using at the younger stage, and she still does. And just toddler size cutting utensils. The fifth thing is having some sort of water source. So I actually went and I got for $10 just a water jug with the handle, like a lemonade type juice jug that the child can just press down and pour their own water. Now I'll be completely honest, I still have to be around my daughter when she's pouring, because she really loves pouring water and transferring water right now, and she will continue doing that for a very long time if I'm not around. But having some kind of water source so they can pour their own glass of water, and also for them to pour the water to wash their dishes after. So now let's head over to my kitchen and I will show you where and how I have it set up. Right now my daughter is 20 months old, but it's been set up like this for a few months since we moved to the new house, and hopefully it'll give you a visual idea of one of several ways that you can set up a Montessori kitchen for your toddler in your home. So this is what our current kitchen looks like, and the back door faces the backyard. We have a patio door, and the only space that I have in our new home for the kitchen was right here, just right beside the patio door to go to the backyard, and it still leaves enough room to go out, in and out, and it's kind of right next to our kitchen counters up here. So this is what my daughter's Montessori kitchen setup looks like now. Originally, the kitchen came with like a play stove piece here and a plastic sink, or sorry, a plastic faucet. But I removed both of those things, and my husband just glued a wood cutting board so my daughter can actually cut her food and use the counter as a functional counter. And the top portion here, so this is what the top portion looks like. I have a small bowl with her sponge, and I also have an alternative cleaning scrubber as well that she can use to wash her dishes. This is the water jug that I was talking about. So as you can see here, this allows the toddler to be able to push down and pour their own water. And I usually just put a little bit. I never fill it up all the way because, like I mentioned, she's in a stage right now where she really loves pouring water, transferring water, and she could literally do this for hours, pour it down. So I try to just have a tiny bit in there for her to pour herself. Here we have two doors, two cupboard doors, and I'll show you how I have it set up on the right. So she usually has a wooden plate or a wooden bowl that she likes to eat her snacks with, and she has some small plates at the top and some heart-shaped bowls that I kept from Valentine's Day, and she really likes to eat out of those. I'll do a separate video showing the different type of dishes and glasses and utensils that you can have for your baby and your toddler. Down here down here is where I have a little tray, and she has her cutting knife, a little spatula. She really likes this brush that when we make pizza or when we make bruschetta, she likes to spread the garlic or the oil or the sauce using the brush. And I have various utensils, spoons, knives, and forks. Like I mentioned, I'll just do a separate video going more into detail about that. And then she has some glass bowls down at the bottom. There's a few things that are in the dishwasher right now, so not everything is in here, but the idea is to keep it very minimal, simple, and child size. Here, because Easter is this weekend, I found an Easter tea towel, so I always hang a new tea towel for her to dry her hands after washing them. And I try to stick to the theme, to the season theme. On this side is where her glasses, her mugs, and her pitchers are to pour her syrup, her sauces, to do some transfer work. Bottom shelf is where I keep her placemats, and we always she helps to set the table with the placemat. And when we do the laundry together, I fold the placemat with her, and she'll bring it here and knows to put it on this side of her kitchen. So we try to be consistent and minimal and as neat as possible. This is a stool that my daughter uses to step on to go to our counter height. So if we're baking together at the counter, then she'll usually climb up the stool and stand. The other wall is where we keep her broom set, her apron, my broom, and my apron. So it's all in one area here, and I hang my aprons a little bit higher. And as you can see, the broom set has a functional broom, a little mop, a dusting, a little mop, a little brush, and I also hang her apron that she got from Poland with her broom set. So when we're done baking or cooking, she'll hang it on the hook. Here I found a little garbage can for her to place her garbage. I wanted to go and get a little recycling bin as well. It's just with this whole COVID-19, it's a bit tricky getting out of the house, so we're trying to stay home. I'll eventually get a little recycling bin here as well, and eventually a little compost bin. Mother bought me this calendar for her, and it's just baby animals, and I usually keep it at her level so she can see and have a new image to look at every month. And then up here I have my meal schedule that I try to follow and plan ahead of time to make things a little bit smoother in the kitchen with all of us being home and with baby number 2 coming. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about setting up the Montessori kitchen in your home, please leave a comment down below. I love reading and responding to your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!